Hi guys! Do you like my wall? I just got done making my wall. To help me cope with my PCD, I just got back from camp yesterday, and so I figured I would do a video about it, talking about how great camp was, because this is by far the best year I've ever had. And me talking about camp helps me cope with my PCD, and hopefully it'll help others listening and remembering with me. Quick shout out to Radhika, because it was her last year, and I've known Radhika her entire camp life, so that was really cool, watching her grow up and grow and mature as a musician and as the beautiful young woman she has turned out to be, and camp will miss her. And she had her birthday at camp, so happy birthday! Also, shout out to Jen Gudgel, if she watches this. Who knows? She's my co-counselor in Cedar. Ooh, see what I did there? And also, once again, to Tove, Christopher, because I love him with my whole heart, and he's one of the reasons I'm a counselor, and I've known him ever since I've been going to camp, and he's just one of the best people in the world. He just has the heart and the soul of somebody who's just ready to love and to give love and to be loved, and it's beautiful. Okay, I'm not really sure how to begin talking about camp, so let's just start from the top. The day we arrived. So some of the counselors arrived early, and actually all but like 2 showed up early, so that's really great. And it was perfect because we just picked right off where we left off. It was like we had never left, and that in itself just is just phenomenal. And even when the campers started showing up, the campers with their friends and the relationship they had with their counselors, it was just like that. We never left because our hearts are always going to be at camp. And that in itself is just truly wonderful and magical, and it's just incredibly powerful, and I'm not really sure how else to make people understand. It's just beautiful. So, first day, I go the day early. We're reconnecting with everybody, and it was a lot of fun. We had pizza that was not the best, but it was great because we were with each other. And then the next day, campers started showing up, and my name twin, Jennifer, was my counselor, my co-counselor in Cedar, the youngest girls' cabin, and it was just awesome. The campers came in, the campers loved the decorations that we did and that her mom helped make, and our theme was butterflies, which is really cute because there are little butterflies around the trim of this paper. I tried to make the names of the cabins go with their theme. So let's just go there. So Cedar, the youngest girl cabin, their theme was butterflies, and it was adorable. And then the next cabin after Cedar, this is all girls, this is all boys. So we're starting on the girl side. So Cedar, butterflies. Then the next oldest cabin was Fir, and I did theirs yellow for the Yellow Brick Road because their theme was old movies, but they really focused on the Wizard of Oz, so that was adorable. And then next we have Manzan, and Manzan did Broadway and theater, and so I did an American flag for theirs because Broadway is American, and theater actually kind of sort of really took off in America, and I thought that was great, so they got the American flag. And then last but certainly not least on the girl side is the oldest cabin, Willow, and their theme was Harry Potter, and so I did fall leaves for their Whomping Willow that they had designed out front, and that was really cute. On to the boys' side, my little brother, it was his first year counseling, and it was phenomenal to get to work with him, and his little cabin was the Oak. Oak boys are the youngest boys in the cabin, and their theme was kind of tropical Hawaiian theme, so it's kind of hard to tell, but there's like fun colors and stuff all around that one, so they got that. Up next is Pine, and Pine, I'm pretty sure, did a fraternity thing, so the reds and greens on this paper really spoke out to me, so there's that. And the next is Dogwood, and Dogwood, it was Halloween, undead, I'm not even sure but I had a Halloween paper, so they got that. And last but not least was Sequoia, and I don't think Sequoia actually had a theme, so this is just a fun decorative piece of paper. And then, of course, always, camp is definitely just enthralled, and it's just, a part of it is just ELE, everyone loves everyone, and it's lovely how much love is there, and I don't know how many times I can use love in the same sentence, but it's beautiful, just the passion that we have at camp for loving one another and just accepting each other for what we are. It's really great. So there are the cabins. Kids showed up. It was great. Auditions for them went awesome. Game night was fun, like it always is. Sunday night is game night, and it was just great, just feeding off of each other's energy, and it was lovely. There's another love. Bing! And see here. Tuesday was the staff concert, and we do a staff concert to show the kids just these are the people who are teaching you all week, and yes, they are qualified. Listen to how fantastic they sound. I unfortunately do not participate in staff night because I stopped playing my instrument, but I'm learning on another one, so hopefully next year I'll be able to play another one, the melodica. I used to play the clarinet, for those who do not know. And it was beautiful, just the amount of talent we have at this camp, just on the staff. It blows me away. It's trying to find the words to describe it. We have just so much talent on our staff that to hire somebody who's on our staff outside of camp to do that would be impossible. It's just so expensive. But like here at camp, and we're just encompassed by all of this just musical talent, and just, it's perfect. And I cannot describe how much I got to watch the girls in my cabin just grow. It was exponential. Just, they started just, I had a 5th grader in my cabin who showed up knowing 6 or 7 notes on her clarinet, and by the end she could do scales, and that in itself, for a 5th grader to just learn that much in 6 days, not even 6 days, in 5 days, it's phenomenal. And I myself, I was a camper for 8 years, and I learned everything I know about my instrument from this camp. I had the unfortunate thing that every time I came to a school, they lost their band director, so I was always in a growing period with the new director, which meant we really didn't get a whole lot done. So I didn't really learn a lot, so I am speechless with thankfulness that I have for this camp, and just everything about it, and how much I learned myself. If you had met me before camp, you'd be surprised at the lady I turned out to be today. I didn't talk. I would look down all the time. I almost never smiled. I was just shy and like a recluse almost. And being thrown into this atmosphere was probably the best thing that ever could have happened to my life. And I will never be able to repay that. And it's pretty great. Now I'm getting teary-eyed, so I'm really glad I have tissues next to me. Moving on. See here, Wednesday was skit night, and our theme was Queen, and for those of you who do not know, it is my all-time #1 favorite band in the history of ever. I don't think another band will ever take its place, and I was beyond excited for that within itself, just because we were doing Queen. And let's see here, Cedar did Good Old Fashioned Loverboy. Oak did the Flash Gordon theme, which was great how they put that together. Let's see, I'm trying to remember them all. Fur did Bicycle. Fur did Bicycle Race. Manzanita did Another One Bites the Dust. Pine did Princes of the Universe. Dogwood did Princes of the Universe. Sequoia had Somebody to Love. I already said Oaks. What was Pines? Oh, Pines was You're My Best Friend. There you go. Whew. And then last but not least was Willow, and I saved Willow for the last for a very big reason. Willow did something I've never witnessed on a skit night in my entire life, and I don't think it could ever be reproduced ever again. Willow's song was Under Pressure, by Queen featuring David Bowie, and that is one of my top 10 favorite Queen songs. And instead of doing the normal song and just doing a fun little dance to it, like every other cabin did, they took it a completely different direction, and it was a huge risk, and it paid off tenfold. They did a dramatic poetic reading of Under Pressure, and if you have not actually sat down and read the lyrics, might I suggest that you pause this video and go do that right now. Okay, so it's phenomenal, the lyrics. I had never read them, and so it's a hip, upbeat song, isn't this great? Once I sat down for one of their practices that they did, and it moved me to tears, just them practicing, getting it through, and it was something else. Thinking about it now, I am covered in goosebumps. It's just beautiful. And skit night came, and they were the last cabin to go, and they moved the entire audience to tears. I was bawling. The judges were bawling. I had kids who this was their first year in my cabin, and they had tears running down their face. And so when skit night is normally over, we say goodnight, and we go to bed, and everything is great. We stayed for an hour out at the Greek Theater, which is where skit night is held, just hugging and just crying. And it wasn't sad crying, it was just that we were so, our hearts just grew bigger that night, to, like, not in the Grinch kind of way, but just the fact that we understood how we feel about camp was, like, brought to the surface. I have to start. It was just beautiful, and obviously thinking about it now is moving me to some little tears. I cannot express how much that skit meant to me. And if you're still watching and you haven't turned this off yet, my co-counselor Jennifer Gudgel has recorded all of the skits, and so within the next month, so you guys aren't waiting on edge for it, within the next month she'll be posting the skits. So if you watch this and you're like, okay, she's crying, I should probably watch this video, once they get posted, I'll probably try to attempt to post the link on this video for those videos so you guys can watch it. All of the skits, just every year we have just one dud. There's always one dud in the skits. And this year there actually wasn't one. Every single skit was just like one on top of the other, just brilliant, brilliant, and brilliant. And then there was Willow's, and how do you compete with that? It was beautiful. So that in itself was gorgeous. Thursday night, moving on, Thursday night was the student recital, and I love the student recital just because me, as a counselor now, I can actually physically compare, because I listen to all the girls' auditions, I get to compare what they were at auditioning-wise to what they are now, and just see the growth. And they got here on Sunday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days. 5 days, and these girls were doing runs and notes they had never hit before, and it was just awesome seeing that much talent, and it was a lot of fun to just sit and be in this room just full of music, and that was great. And then Friday night was the dance, and I just want to give a little shout out to my brother's co-counselor in Oak, Alex Adams. He was my very first date to my very first dance to my very first prom. Our theme this year was summer prom, and it kind of got around the campus of the camp that I had never gone to one of my proms, and I had never been asked to a dance before. And Alex rectified that. He was really cute, and he wrote me a poem, and it was just adorable. Even though we had to work the event, it was really cute, and I was really thankful for that. So thank you, Alex. I love you. And it was great. All my girls had a blast. Everybody had just a fun time. We nominated King and Queen of the camp, and we also had... That was weird. We also had a prince and a princess, and one of my little girls from my cabin, Anne, was nominated princess. It was too cute because her date to the dance was nominated as prince. And once again, shout out to Radhika for becoming queen of the camp for prom, and to Taryn for becoming her king, and he deserved it because he is just a great soul, and I'm so glad I got to meet him through camp. And then, of course, Saturday morning was the concert, and I got to meet all the parents again and tell them what a lovely time I had with their kids, because in all honesty, I've never had a cabin that just clicked so well together. There's always a problem, and this year was an exception. Everybody just got along great, they all had ideas, they all had a lot of fun, and not to mention Jen and I are obsessed with Disney, and so every time we were in the cabin, all of us were singing a different Disney song, and that in itself was really great, because my girls were totally game for just belting Let It Go at the top of their lungs, just because. And I just love camp. And so, I'm really sad that it's done, but I'm thankful that I had this opportunity again, and if I could go back and do the week again, the one thing I would do differently, probably be take ibuprofen Wednesday night. I cried so much I dehydrated myself and woke up with a migraine, but honestly, that's the only thing. Camp this year was close to perfection, and I couldn't think of a better way to spend my week than at camp. So if you're watching this and you've gone to camp, you obviously know what I'm talking about. And if you're watching this and you've never gone to my camp, I'm sorry that you haven't been able to experience it, because it is something it's something that is just truly beautiful. And I'm gonna get off before I start crying again. I love you guys.